Hey everybody, welcome to the beginning of a new crafty week. Today is Tuesday, it is August the 5th, and I am starting out this crafty week just working on a snuggler during my breaks at work. I just wanted to make something with the yarn I have, and I just looked for a pattern that I hadn't done before. So once again, I'm crocheting my collection, and I'll do probably a short with the projects that I do for this newest challenge from Stacy Makes and the Cozy Buckeye. But this is a pattern I bought a long time ago and just have not, at least, 4 or 5 years ago, I think, and have never made it. So I can't wait to show it to you. I think it's going to be super cute, and I'll show you eventually in this clip what it kind of looks like. But yeah, I'm just taking it easy, just working on things when I can work on them, trying to prep for this market and trying not to get overwhelmed or too nervous about it. So I'm hoping to start to tag things really soon. Like by this weekend, I want to start pulling the things out and getting them tagged. And I think the more prepared I am leading up to the week of this thing, I will feel better about it. The more prepared I am, the better. And so, yeah, I'm going to start tagging things and trying not to leave that until the last minute. My friend Lori, hey Lori, she does that. She is tagging things as she makes them, and I just think that's smart. So even though I didn't tag them as I make them, I'm really going to try. I'm going to try to go ahead and tag things well in advance so that as I get closer to that week of the show, I will only be tagging the things that I make that week. Anyway, here I'm just trying to beat the clock. My break is almost over, so I'm trying to get to the end of the row, and I did it. And as you see, I had 9 seconds left, and it is time to stop and get back to work. I did crochet on my lunch break, but here's what I got done on this first 15-minute break. And I crocheted and finished it up, put the safety eyes in. I did all of that on my lunch break. And now this is my second 15-minute break of the day, and I'm just continuing on with this project, guys. I just have to make the most of the time that I have. I did go outside for lunch, so I did, not crochet my whole lunch away at my desk. I did go out a minute and then crocheted the last 20 minutes or so and finished up the head of this little snuggler that I'm working on. I'll show you guys a picture of it here in a second of what I'm actually working on. This really, really, really cute project. Anyway, yep, I'm trying to make the most of all the time that I have. I actually woke up so early this morning. I've been sleeping so good, guys. But last night, I just went back to my old ways. Okay, I'm about to show you. And I went to sleep I woke up at 3. So I'm a little bit tired. I'm not sure how much crocheting I see. How cute it is. Very, very cute. I think I want to make at least 2 of them just because they're so cute. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next clip. It had to be done. I'm sorry. Hey guys, this is Saturday. It is a day where I'm not going to go out a lot today because I've been running and gunning for a long time, so I'm going to try to do a little mini vlog. I know you hear the dog in the background because she wants to come outside, but I'm going to just really quickly, you know how on Refuge from My Granny's Closet always does t-shirt of the day. Well, I'm doing Moo of the day. This is today's moo. I'm gonna be comfortable. I'm gonna be cool. It's actually not been that hot through July, which is typically one of the hotter months in SoCal, but now the heat is starting to ramp up. So I'm gonna try to stay cool, keep crafting, and just enjoy the day. A little bit of reading, and I'm gonna go inside now and show you what I have made so far today. All right, see you in the next clip. Okay, guys, I'm just want to show you what I've been working on this morning. I have been fooling around with this scarf trying to make it stay. It's really slippery, and it's a long rectangle. If it was a square, I might be able to do a little bit better, but it's just a long rectangle. And so, anyway, got the air conditioner on. I'm sure you can hear it. Hold on one second. Okay, all right, so that's much better. I just remembered to do that. So anyway, like I said, gonna chill at home this weekend. The entire summer, guys, there's been more times out of the house on the weekend than in. And if you are, going to work every day, you're leaving your house every day, you kind of look forward to spending some time at home. For me in particular, I like to be at home with the dog if I can on the weekends, and it's not always possible, and like I said before, I think in the clip, she is maturing, so she doesn't have to be in the pen. But like right now, she just walked past me with a writing pen, so I got to get that. And this is why she cannot be allowed to roam because she still does all of that. And somebody told me, because her dad's a multi-pool, mom's a Aussie Shepherd plus a miniature shepherd, and she just, with that multiple energy, she's probably gonna be like this. Somebody told me for 2.5 years, so we're only a year and almost a half in, so she's got some time, which we enjoy all her puppy energy, but you just really have to watch over. So hold on one second and let me get the pen from her. I'll be right back. Okay, anyway, y'all, pen secured, area secured, and so let's move on. So you have seen me working on the little doggy loveys. I'll try to pop up a picture somewhere in here so you can see what that lovey was when they made it, how it looked. Now I finished the lighter color one. I'm going to give you guys a look at it, and I think it's cute as it can be. Now I do wish, so here you go, it's a flat body. This is exactly what the pattern has you do. I don't really like that part. I would put the legs down lower, or I should have made it like splooting, and I think if I had followed their directions, it would have been more splooting. But because I decided, I could crochet the arm pin, and that's what I did, so they end up on the round like this, and I maybe could have moved them forward on that round and put them right up front. That's what I think I should have done. I still have to do the darker colored one. I just did not get this snout right, and I don't like these eyes, but it's still cute. And I think the tail is interesting, but this is how it looks. I did finish it. This is what?
No.
What? Oh, you want to come up? She's asking, so let's, no, you don't want to come up. You want me to get up. Okay, she's trying to make me get up and move onto the couch area. That's what she does. She will, if she wants you to come where she's at, she'll act like she wants you to pick her up and then run off so you can follow her. That's what she wants. She's just like Lassie. Anyway, so let me hurry up. So I made this one. I have the other one that I'm about to finish up here in a second. So this is that one. I wish I had just used black safety eyes. In the future, that's what I will do. But that's this one, made in the Loops and Threads Baby Sand Chenille Home is what this is. And so this is really working through my last ball of that. And you know, they are not bringing back Chenille Home. They are not. They are bringing back the Sweet Snuggles, but Chenille Home will not be coming back. And I mean, the main difference between the two was the colorways that were available. The colorways that are available in Chenille Home are not so baby. And I really enjoyed that, so I'm kind of sad that they're not bringing it back. But they're supposedly bringing a replacement. Yes, ma'am. Yes. You want me to pick you up? Hold on, guys. Okay, here she is. Here's this little stinker of a dog. Hi, Bigger. Say hi. Anyway, so that's this one. And I'll write down who the patterns are by. So I still had a good portion of that. A good portion. This gown, this moo is real slippery, so she's having a hard time staying on my lap. What? No, I don't want any doggy kisses. What? Look at the camera so they can see you. I gave her a bath last night. She's wild, but she does smell good, and she is clean. She is going to be needing a grooming. I heard Maltipoos need grooming all the time. And we don't do it. I usually just bathe her a lot in between groomings and just let her get super wild and crazy. So, anyway, I still had a good portion of the, let me see if she'll go down here. Are you gonna say hi, guys? Hi, I don't crochet. I'm just cute. Okay, bye. Okay. All right. Anyway, I still had a good portion of that Chenille Home, available to use, and I just said, let me just go ahead and use it up. So I decided to jump in, and I did Annie Caraway's Loaf Cat, and it's a pay-for pattern. Apparently, I mean, now there's so many patterns out there. There's lots of free tutorials. I think Annie Caraway even does some tutorials on her channel. But here is my Loaf Cat. So it came out super cute, worked up really quick, and I used a safety nose, a flocked safety nose, and I think 14-inch safety eyes on mine, and some Red Heart Super Saver acrylic yarn for the whiskers. There are her little bobble feet, and this is such an easy pattern, and it works up pretty quickly. I got to the ears last night, and then all the rest of it I did this morning. So I finished that up, and I still had some of that yarn left, and it looked like it could possibly be enough for a capybara. So at first I was like, people have been using this free capybara pattern on Instagram, so let me just try to find that. And I hadn't saved it, and I tried to find it, but then I was like, well, you do have a capybara pattern that you bought from Plushie Co. And the pattern from Plushie Co. is really a robust pattern. There's two ways to make the big one, where you crochet in or you sew on all the appendages. It's gonna take a little bit more. There's also within that pattern a little tangerine and the leaf for the tangerine. This dog, y'all, she is underneath my chair finding things to chew. I'm going to have to look, and now she's leaving because she met her goal. She found something to chew on, a pen. It's another pen. Okay, let me hurry up and get off of here. Anyway, I made the Annie Caraway Plushie Co. Capybara, the no-sew one. So it's 3 versions of her pattern. The no-sew one is the smaller one, and that is the one I made. And look, as you can see, I did run out. Why is it like that? Oh, I might have to change this second eye, because it ain't quite right. I think I'm going to change it. It's not quite right, but it looks good from this side. And it looks good from this side, but from the front looks a little, you can see that it's off. It's off. So here is the capybara. This pattern is pretty amazing. With that much snout, you would think, there we go, you would think that, hold on. Okay, guys, let me hurry up and finish. I'm going to reposition myself in another area where she can just be with me and she won't be trying to come over here and hunt. Anyway, and I need to plug in my phone. Anyway, so the capybara is from Plushy Co. I have completely used up this. I don't have another one, but this is the terracotta. And I was going to try and pair the Stash Goals yarn. It's in the colorway tan, but it, you know, it's shiny, and this is matte, and it just didn't look right. Plus, I think it's gonna crochet up just the tiniest bit smaller. So I'm gonna fix this eye, I think, on here. I'm gonna redo that eye. So I'm gonna redo one of them because they need to kind of match, and they're not really matching when you, yeah, I mean, they're not so bad, not in the camera, but anyway, we'll see. Anyway, I love the pattern. I can't wait to make another one, and it will be out of the Stash Goals yarn, and it'll be all one color, just so we can see the difference. And also, what's cool about this pattern, it does sit, and pretty much the bottom of the face of the head is in line with the bobble feet, so it does not top over. It just sits. I don't know if I can show you in my hand where I'm not actually trying to hold it. I'm just letting it sit on my flat hand, and you see how well that works. I really love this pattern. Highly recommend the capybara pattern from Plushy Co. because, again, it's robust. There are 2 other versions of this in there, and it's the bigger version, but I'm just going to stick to making the smaller one, the no-sew ones, for now as I prepare for the market. So that's it. That's all for this portion. I want to tell you about the book I just finished, but I'm going to reposition myself, get the fan on me. I got the air conditioner on, but I don't feel it right here. So I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to talk to you about the book I just finished. Okay, hold on. So the lighting is terrible right here, but, you know, the dog is content and not getting anything dangerous. So let me just quickly tell you guys about the book I just read. I just finished this book. It's called Apartment Women. The author's name is Gu Byung Mo. Translated by Chi Young Kim. Last name is probably Kim, and first name is Chi Young. And this was translated from Korean. This is my second book that I have read that was translated from Korean, and it was interesting. It's about, so basically, Korea, and I'm just like everybody, specifically Seoul, Korea, is just like every other big city in the world. It's super expensive to live there. And yet, of course, everybody wants to. I mean, most people will work in Seoul. It's like New York City. It's like Chicago. People are going to work in those areas. But for us, it's just every part of LA is expensive. So, for instance, if you work at UCLA like I do, but you want to live near where you work, if you're a doctor, sure. If you're a nurse, sure. But even then, it's a stretch. It's really hard, because UCLA, even if you're a doctor, it's like working for the government, right? So, if you're in private practice, you're all good. But anyway, you want to live where you work, but most of us can't afford to live where we work. I don't live that far. However, it's just expensive. It's even expensive where I live. I mean, anyway, so this book in Seoul is like that. And I think it's even more so like that because from what I have garnered from watching dramas and from reading articles, the amount of money that they have to pay for what would be equivalent to our security deposit, if I'm understanding it right, is tremendously outrageous. And so just to even rent an apartment is almost impossible. It's just so tough. And so This book is about a government-built and government-run apartment building, but folks live communally in this. So it's 12 units. They only want families. They only want families that are basically heterosexual, because they are also trying to impact, the government is trying to impact the birth rate in Korea. So I learned a while ago that the birth rate in Korea has been dropping. Last year, I think, was the first time that the birth rate in Korea rose. And that's also because young people are like, it's too expensive. It's just too expensive to have children. And so, according to things that I've read, I could be wrong, and maybe I'm reading the wrong stuff, but it's very, very hard, and folks are choosing not to do it. People are choosing not to have children. And so the birth rate is also going down. Well, they don't want that. So what they do is they build this building, and they want families to come in. You have to commit. This is crazy. This would never fly in America, by the way. Never, ever, ever is it going to fly in America. But they want you already have to have at least one child with a commitment to have 2 more within 10 years. And for that, if you do that, you get to stay there for a nominal fee compared to what it would cost to live in Seoul. And this place is way out. So the people who work in Seoul have to commute, which, that happens. That happens here. People live in New Jersey and they commute to New York City. People live in Indiana and commute to Chicago, so that does happen. However, in this situation, one parent would need to stay home. So this is about 4 couples, and 3 of the 4 couples, the women are the ones to stay home, and the other couple, the wife, is the one that goes out to work. Anyway, this is about them trying to live communally, to plan together, and so they have a big communal table in the yard. They share the duties of recycling. There's always going to be that one neighbor who's going to try to be the boss of everybody else, so that one existed. But basically what you do is watch all these couples fall apart. And the part about this book to me that was depressing is the attitude toward becoming a parent, specifically for the women. And this is like a theme that has come up in the other book that I read, which was called Kim Ji-young, born 1982. And the author was Cho Namju. I read that one too. And in both of these, the women who, having a child is like a drudge. Like, there is nothing positive that is said about being a mom or having a child. Now, they cherish the children, but they just feel like they lose themselves because they are the ones that are expected to in their career so they can take care of their child and all of that stuff. But it was just like, I was just like, oh, this book is so depressing, because in the end, nothing great comes out of it. It's not one of those wrap up in a bow nice type of books. But I just was struck by it. I wonder if in real life, if young people really do see, and I don't think that it's so in American culture. I think folks are still having babies, and whether they can afford them or not, they are having babies. They making the babies, they having the babies, and they making it work. But just to think about that, like a whole culture is like, no, nope, not doing it. And because it's looked at as a drudge, and it's inconvenient, and it is inconvenient, right? If you have kids, they're super inconvenient, right? All of that stuff is true. Motherhood and being a stay-at-home mom, it's not an easy gig. However, I still wanted to do it. I still would have loved to have been able to be at home with Jordan. I was home with him for 4 months, and then I had to go back to work. And the interesting thing about that is that I immediately recognized that the work at work was easier than the work at home with caring for someone who can't do anything for themselves for 8, 9, 10 hours without Steve being at home. But even that being said, I still wanted to do it. I would have stayed home with him until he went to school. I would have stayed home if I could have afforded it, but I couldn't, not living in here. But anyway, that's this book, y'all. I don't know. It was quite a it was quite kind of depressing. And I just wonder what people think. Like, I need to talk to some young people. What do they think about the future? I heard my friend's, sorry guys, my friend's 16-year-old child, he's actually, is he 17 yet? I think he's 17. And he does want to be a dad. He does want to have children, and he does think that way. He's young, though. I'm talking about young adults that are a little bit older that are like, no, I'm not doing it. It's an interesting thing to think about. Anyway, that's it. That's all about this book. I'll see you in the next clip. Let me get back to making. Sorry about the dog. Bye. All right, guys. Belle and I are out for a walk on this lazy day. Not really lazy, but just trying to stay in the house. But she needs outside, so here we are. Hey y'all, I'm a whole hot mess. So it is let me see. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 5:44 p.m.
So it's 5:44 p.m. Jordan went to a birthday party. Steve took him. I took Bella for a walk right at the same time. And then I came back and I got a lot of work done on the puppy Lovey, the second one. But I fell asleep. Look, in the middle of a row, I fell asleep. Don't mind that. Don't mind that. Anyway, in the middle of a row, I fell asleep. I was listening to an audiobook, which, by the way, I finished another book as well, but it was an audiobook that was called The Union Street Bakery. Actually, a pretty good book. As the female lead in that book, my dog is about to start barking. The female lead in that book, Bella, don't do it, is adopted. She was when she was 3 years old. She and her mother were at that bakery, and her mother left her there, abandoned her there, and with a note in her pocket saying, "Please take care of my Daisy." So Daisy grows up and is, after a thorough search, they end up, the bakery owners adopt her. And so this story is about, her having abandonment issues, her as much as she was loved by her family, as much as she loved them, she just had this thing about being abandoned. And I hope I got this right. Let me see. I think I'm on the decrease round. Yeah, I'm on the decrease round. Okay. The first decrease round. Anyway, so she lives her life leaving people before they can leave her. And that's just her MO. Anyway, she ends up losing her job because she's dead. She's an investment banker. Her boyfriend's an investment banker, and he took some big risks and pretty much destroyed the company. Okay, destroyed the company. And he left in shame, but she ends up losing her job, her and a bunch of other people. Anyway, she goes home to work and live at to work at her family's bakery, and to live in the apartment above until she can figure something out. But really, hold on. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep doing it. She's there to use her business skills to really save her family's bakery. Her sister and her sister's husband had been the bakers, but her sister's husband suffered. He died unexpectedly, so her sister's there, not really being business minded, and really the bakery really needed Daisy's skills. Anyway, the whole thing is really about Daisy. One of her first days back, a old lady from the neighborhood comes in and, you know, totally remembers her and tells her she knew her mama, and she's like, well, if you knew my mama, how come you didn't say something when I was 3 years old when we did this? They did this massive search for her mom. Anyway, it turns out the old lady was at the end of her life. She was 100 years old, and she leaves Daisy a journal, and the whole thing is about Daisy and her sister Margaret, who is a historian. She's getting her dissertation, and them trying to figure out what's what from this journal, which is over 100 years old. Anyway, it was really good. It was really good. The way the author put the story together was great. Trying to see if I'm doing this right. So here I am. 1, 2. This don't feel right though. I don't feel like I did it right. I didn't. Let's see. 1, 2. Okay. Anyway, it was a good book. So I actually finished 2 books. And so I haven't really been reading. Like last year, I was in my Rory Gilmore era. If you know, you know. If you watched Gilmore Girls, you know what I'm talking about. Last year, I was reading like crazy, right? I was finishing so many books. But that hasn't been the case this year. I actually hadn't really read a lot over the last couple of months. But that book that I shared about earlier, it was from the library. Me and Steve went out with some friends who live out in South Pasadena, and that's near to where Steve works. And so when we went, gosh guys, I don't know, I'm trying to talk and do this at the same time. It's not working. Yeah, it's really not working, because that's 1, 2, okay. I'm tripping, y'all. Anyway, we went, and Steve, we went a little early for the date because Steve wanted to show me, you know, his work area, where the places that he likes to go when he's in that area. And one of those places is the public library. And that book was under the new books that had come in, and I was immediately drawn to it. I saw that the author was Korean, and it was a translation, so I was like, I'm in. So basically, I had to finish that book because I need him to be able to take it back. So I finished that one, and then I just decided that half the things that I was listening to, I didn't want to listen to. I wasn't that drawn to listen to them anymore. And so I decided to look and find something on the Kindle Unlimited that also had an audiobook, and the Union Street Bakery fit the bill. So then I did that one. And now I'm feeling very much like I want to read again. So anyway, after I took Bella for the walk, I fell asleep. I finished an episode of a brand new drama on Netflix, really good. And I have just had a really chill day, just like I wanted it to be after like running and gunning for so many weekends. Last weekend was extra, because I literally did 2. Oh, she's gonna start barking because the dogs upstairs are barking. I literally did 2 events in one day. And y'all, I stopped doing that when I was in my 30s. I was like, I cannot be running from one event to the next, but I did that day. And then I think we still did some stuff on Sunday. So I was just really wanting to have this as a weekend where I'm just chilling at home. And it's working out because I have 2 more rounds to this, and it will be done. And then I'll move on to make the 4 paws. Gotta make some paws. They're exactly the same. They will work up fairly quickly. But I decided to do this one to pattern because I don't really like how my modifications came out. So to pattern, you bake the whole body and then you sew on the paws. And so here is where we're at. Let me show you. Jordan is actually on his way home. That's why I said let me record a little bit before they get here. So this one is better, I think, because the eyes are closer to the color of the yarn. So yeah, I'm almost done there. I need 2 more, another decrease row, and then a closing, and that's done. And then I will make the feet and sew them on, and then we'll see the difference between the two when I follow the directions. Anyway, that's it. That's all for now. I will continue to crochet and work on projects and keep you updated. Okay, y'all, that's it for today's little mini vlog. We'll continue a little bit more tomorrow, but I just want you to see this was finished yesterday, I think. When did we finish this? Maybe we finished it on Thursday, I'm not sure. But for today, we also now have the second little puppy finished, and I really like it better. Actually, I don't know what happened to the tail on this one because it's super long. Look at this tail. Anyway, I got the 2 puppies done. I gave it eyebrows, but I didn't outline the eyes. I think that's just fine without that. We also have the capybara for today, and we have a love cat for today. So that is it. That is all. I think that's all the crocheting. I'm very tempted to make the second cappy, and when I make the second capybara, it's gonna be fully the terracotta color. So I think I might start it, but I might just either read or read sounds good. And I have a drama. The next episode of the drama that I watched came out today, so I'm going to probably watch that. Anyway, these came out super cute. Now my problem with this is that I wasn't thinking, I just followed the pattern. I should have embroidered these eyes, because like, who's gonna play with a snuggler but a little one? So this one I'm gonna have to be like 5 and up, 3 and up, because I did put the safety. And when I made this one, I was like, okay, the next one I'm going to embroider the eyes. Totally forgot and just followed the pattern. Anyway, this is a pattern that I bought. I think I bought this one. I have to look it up, but I've had this pattern for a while, so this is also going to count as crochet your collection, and so is the capybara, actually. So all 3 except for the loaf cat, these are all 3 patterns that I've had. This pattern, and then the little bear that I made the other day, plus these 2. I made the bear in the last video. These are all crochet your collection. So I'll do a little short and tag the ladies, Stacy makes from Stacy from Stacy Makes, and April from the Cozy Buckeye. But anyway, crochet my collection. All right, that's it for this clip. I'll see you in the next one. All right, everybody, it's Sunday night, and we're going to end out our weekend crafting, but we will not end the vlog until tomorrow. This is another Bella the Pretty Bear. I'm using the Stash Goals yarn, and it definitely has a distressed look. That's the term that Rail gave me. I found out through watching Crochet by Tasha that these are factory seconds. And I didn't bother to read that when I was buying this yarn. I just thought it was such a great deal. And honestly, I still think it's such a great deal. I love the way it is working up. It's quite a usable yarn. Colorways are different. Textures feel different. But overall, I think it's a usable yarn. Alright guys, I'm just going to end the video because I have a block right now. I crochet so much and I'm almost done with that last piece that I showed you, Bella the Pretty Bear. Why? I'm just stuck. I haven't been able to pick it up for a day or so, but I figured I'll probably need a break. So I've been reading, but she's almost done. Really, I'm doing the bottom paws. So I'm hoping to get her done, but she'll just be the first finish of the next video. Otherwise, I'm never going to post this. So let me just go through real quick everything I made. So you guys already saw the two puppy loveys that we got done. So those are all finished. They look weird because they've been laying over here. Then we did the loaf cat that you guys have already seen. And then you already saw this capybara, which is the Pushy Co pattern. And all the patterns will be linked in the Google Doc. But I did do 2 more capybaras. Now, this cappy is made from the terracotta chenille home slam. And look at how cute it is. It came out so good. No color changes. There's no, well, you can't really see the bobble feet. And then I did this one in the, what yarn is this? This yarn is the the Stash Goals yarn from Premier. And that's this one. Now it is, I think it's categorized as a number 6. I don't know. But you know, it's factory second, so it's super inconsistent. But this is the first project I made out of it, which is this little capybara. So you can see the size difference between the 2 yarns. So yeah, when I used the sage green colorway of this yarn, I think it was closer to the chenille home in the way that it was constructed. But because this yarn is factory seconds, it's definitely not going to be consistent. So this actually feels way more, the construction of it is way more like Bernat velvet. It's thicker, so it knit up or crocheted up. I keep saying knit up, crocheted up. It crochets up bigger, but the way it's constructed, Rail said distressed, it's like got a distressed look, and it really does. But it's fine. It's, you know, it sheds like crazy. At least this one did. The sage green one did not shed. This one it was all over the place. So the yarn's going to be inconsistent, and I think as long as you expect that and understand that, you can work with the yarn. But every ball is going to be different. That's what I think. Anyway, that's it. That's all. That's what I got made over the weekend. I'm almost finished with Bella the Pretty Bear, but I won't finish it and probably for a while. I think I'm getting burnt out because I've been crocheting like crazy trying to get ready for this market. And I think what I'm going to do is after I do this market, initially I had all these ambitions. I was going to, you know, do 4 markets through the fall, but I don't think I can handle that. I just think it's way too much. So I'm just going to be satisfied with this market and then possibly one in early December, late November. And that's going to be it. I think I'm just going to get 2 in. Because I thought, I'm going to get 4 in. No, I don't think so. Because I'm already, like, wanting to, like, cancel this one. But I will not. I'm going to go through with it. I'm just saying I am not going to pile this stuff onto myself. Because I feel like I just want to crochet. Like, right now, I want to make something else. But I feel the pressure of getting ready for this market. So, I think yeah, I'm only gonna do this one and I'm gonna be done. I hope I make my money back. Like, it was a very expensive booth fee, more expensive than I have ever done. So I hope that I do way more then I hope I make tons. But at the very least, I need to get that boost feedback. Anyway, that's it. That's all. I will see you guys in the next video. Until we meet again, keep it crafty. Please like, subscribe, share. Thank you if you're new. Thank you if you're returning. I'll see you when I see you.